Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play on Final Fantasy XIV on the PC. Last time, we started up a very cool crossover. It's not really a crossover, though, is it? It's the same franchise. A very cool quest line involving some raids connected to Ivalice and Final Fantasy Tactics and 12. So we did the first part of 3. And I was planning to do the second part of 3 here. Until I realized that I needed an item level of 335 to go into the second raid. Not that that's really hard to get. You just got to do some roulettes. And you'll get plenty of tomestones and then just do it. But I don't have it right now. And I have time to record a video right now. So I wanted to do something. So we'll just continue with the patch quests. And then once I get to the eye level, probably for the next video, we'll go back to the raid. Had I realized I needed higher eye level, I probably would have just done some duty or some roulettes instead of getting all the flights for Stormblood. But c'est la vie, doesn't matter. It's all going to get done eventually. Let's talk to Lise and start the patch quest. Arnvald's adventure.
Come to see how we're getting on? We've made good progress since we took back Alamigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address. Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here. Theodoric was our last ruler, and he wasn't called the Mad King for nothing.
Suffice it to say, our people have had their fill of kings, which means we need to find a new way forward.
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion. For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future. But if that's what it takes, I'm ready to talk till my jaw aches. The Reach is yours, Nago. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ah, there you are. I've been searching all over for you. Don't worry, it's nothing bad. That said, this might not be the best place to talk. Will you join me? I'll get to the point. Might you be interested in a spot of adventure? After all, we were adventurous before we were scions, were we not? After routing the Imperials and liberating Alamigo, I reckon we've earned a bit of respite, don't you? And what better way to spend it than by returning to our roots? So, what say you? Shall we call on Alphino and go adventuring?
That's what we do, I suppose. Right then, let's go and find Master Leveleur. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Aetheryte, and we'll be along shortly. See you there. So, I mean, the patch quests are usually like the best content of the expansion, so I'm definitely interested in what's gonna be going on here. And And I'm also really curious to find out what Shadowbringers is about, since I don't know anything about it. And that's it. That's it. Those two things. Those two things. So hopefully it should be good. Greetings, Mangg. 'Twould seem we are to accompany our involved on some manner of escapade. Have you any idea what we've gotten ourselves into? Allow me to explain. It'll be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please. Now, the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Alamigo was still a monarchy and Theodoric sat the throne. Uniquely brutal despot, by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruins suffered no rivals, real or imagined, and his dispute with the monks of the Fist ended with Rhalgr's Reach being burned to the ground. In the latter years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it's said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. Ah, I believe I see the direction our adventure is to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty. You assume correctly. And would I also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known? Others must surely have gone in search of your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course we won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Alamigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But even after scouring every room from dawn till dusk, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remained simply that, a legend. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end there. What self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine, the three of us delving into a decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart to racing. Yeah. And we learned the boxing emote very randomly, I would say. Okay. Darkness below. The news of Doma and Alamigo's liberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. I hear the imperial province of Dalmasca has already risen up in rebellion, which means the Garleans must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Arnvald, have we any clues as to where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nosing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere, so we'll probably need to ask around. Would that be another way of saying no? Well, yes. I see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied archivists and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodoric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you will be looking for people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Arnvald, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks, whilst Mangg makes the rounds in the Alamigan quarter. Ha, and there I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Gilbard's Gate. middle-aged Highlander. In the palace? No, not me, lad. Surely you've heard stories of the Mad King. He used to hold public executions up on the divine audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steps. Suffice it to say that I stayed as far away from the palace as possible. You want to hear an old maid's stories, do you? Aye, well, most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We'd only see his royal majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he'd ordered, and after a while even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. I served at the pleasure of King Theodoric and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life, and one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which, of course, we were under orders to ignore. So we'd stand still as statues, try not to imagine what horrors were unfolding within. If you're hell's bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street here and ask old Ernold. He was the king's head scribe. Ernold? Hey, Ernold. Yes, I am Ernold. What do you want with me? You would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory memories. Yet if Ala Mhigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well, I shall tell you what I remember. I take it you know of Theodoric's paranoia and the public executions of his kinsmen. Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's fevered mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Even now, my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodoric's blood were prone to share his madness, then mayhap it is a kindness that the monarchy entered with him. I'm guessing we're gonna go into the darkness underneath the palace. That'll be fun. Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Allow me to begin then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures, and found precisely none. It is just possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trove's discovery, hoping to enrich himself, but I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find would stay secret for long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist, or that the Imperials somehow overlooked it. But what of you, Mangg? Were your investigations any more fruitful? I would say so. Turned into monsters? And what could he mean by this darkness below the palace, I wonder? I met an old man in Alighieri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison, but he said naught of cursed abominations. Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of fiends inside the palace grounds. Could this scribe fellow have been spinning him a yarn, do you think? Did you believe him, Mangg? His fear seemed genuine. If he was afraid, that does lend credence to the tale, though I'm not sure how that helps us in our search. Do not be so hasty. Ernold's anecdote may very well have told us where the trove is hidden, but ere I share my theory, there is a matter I would clarify. Arenvald, you spoke of light-hearted adventure, but I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Why are you so intent on finding this treasure? It wasn't all pretense, I swear it, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Ala Mhigan mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, like the kind you see in pureblood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage and took up a knife. War paint serves to cover the scar. God damn, dude. This got dark real fast. In the end, she turned me out onto the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of El Amigo, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. Best I can say about the years that follows is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually, I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and that road led me into the company of the Scions. I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodoric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Arnvald, and I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall, but I felt it best to be clear in our intentions. Well, Mangg, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arnvald's noble cause and claim the thrill of adventure as your reward? And I should be glad to tell you my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's trove, if you are minded to hear it. I leveled 370. Okay, let's take healing. Might not even need the tombstones. Let's pop that bad boy open. Nice. I also have music. Okay. Recommended gear. Oh yeah, we're at 342 now. Okay, well next time we'll definitely be doing the next raid. But the Mad King's Trove. Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourn to a more suitable location. In case a rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That was not exactly the reason, but 'tis certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of XIV. And see, this is why we fly, except can I fly out of here? I can fly out of here. Beautiful. Flying is good. Again, I'll just reiterate how nice it is, how easy it is to be able to fly in the expansions. Like, wow, I played all the way through, like, the latest few expansions, and I still can't fly in any of those places. Because it seemed like such a chore to be able to do it. Forgive me, 'twas not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wish to have the lock in sight while I explain things. Prior to the great flood of the 6th Umbral Calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines, and this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of SKALLA, which rose and fell during the 5th Astral Era. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war, yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of XIV. It is my belief that the darkness beneath the palace mentioned by Theodoric's former scribe was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of SKALLA. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of a desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodoric wanted to keep the ruins secure. Wait, you're saying they were meant to guard the Mad King's trove? Precisely, and since we know the court thaumaturge was involved, we can safely assume that any entrance into the old city will have been magically concealed. Which would explain how a legion of Imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Alamegans never found a trace of the trove. We, however, have certain advantages which they did not enjoy. Mangg, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the lock and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Arnvald and I will seek out an ensorcelled portal within the palace. Yeah, I don't really want to swim down because it creeps me out, but I mean, it creeps me out. This creeps me out. This creeps me out a lot. But again, there's no underwater combat in the game, and that I take some solace in. Still creepy, but there's some solace. I think we found our entrance. Discover a passage that appears to lead under the palace foundations. Press on and find out where it goes. Wonderful. Now we're in a cramped tunnel underwater. I mean, yeah, we can't drown, so whatever. And I don't have claustrophobia, so that doesn't bother me as much as like wide open underwater, which is different than a lot of people, I think. You come to a worn stone door standing temptingly ajar. It would appear you have found an entrance into the subterranean ruins. Mangg, it's Alphino. We have searched the prison beneath the palace and found a door concealed by enchantments. Have you aught to report? You believe it leads into the ruins? Excellent. Then I propose we proceed from our respective entry points and look to meet somewhere in the middle. Oh, come on, lads. We might as well make it a race. Victory goes to the first adventurer to find the treasure. Godspeed. Usually not a good idea when exploring a cursed underground sunken city, but sure. Alright, Drowned City of SKALLA. We have a dungeon already, ready to go. We have 3 bosses here. First boss, when it does Hydra pull, you want to move away. Hydra push, you want to move in. That's pretty much it. Second boss, AoE, turns players into Spriggans. Okay, you have to use the Spriggan ability to destroy ads. Alright, third boss. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Ring of Chaos. Selected player moves to boss to allow party to move to safe area. Eye of the Fire. Look away from the boss. Okay, there's a lot of bullshit. I'm sure we'll figure it out. Drowned City of SKALLA. Let's go! Alrighty. We have a gunbreaker tank, a bard, and a dancer. So, any melee cards I draw either have to be redrawn or go on the tank, which I usually don't care for. Now that tank does bad damage, especially in AoE situations, so I might just throw it on him. I like the look of this place. This is pretty cool. Pretty. Oh, we've got a perfect divination ready to go. One of each. There you go. There you go. Oh, and of course, the bard didn't get in on it. Damn it. Barely have to heal. Okay. It's got all 70 gear. Ha! All right, Kelpie is our first boss. Nice mythological creature. Hydro pull, you want to be far away, I thought. Yeah. Because it's basically pushing or pulling you into the purple goop. That's it. We got divination in a second. That. Good. Okay. I think they're just trying to kite these, or oh shit. Oh shit. That's all right. This is easy peasy stuff. This is kid stuff. No problem. So yeah, all the loot here is 315, which I don't think that really helps us. I mean, there are some upgrades, but I'm just gonna be replacing it with tombstone stuff. Eye level 400.
Yeah.
What an odd monster. I really barely have to heal. Pretty good. Slap a renew and on your way. Uh oh, here we got 2 stone phobads. 2 stone phobads. Mm-hmm. Oh, you need a renew? You need a renew? That's no problem. Unlike the Scholar, who only has Whispering Dawn every minute. Oh, I forgot I have AoE too. Just wait. Just wait. Okay, go. Ba, 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 ba. And you get a sweet visual stellar explosion. It's just great. Just great. The old one. Look at this thing. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. The fucking gunbreaker. I think this is the one where you have to turn into a Spriggan. Oh, this is interesting. They all die so quickly, it doesn't really matter, but... Let's redraw that one. Okay, now we're Spriggan. Shatterstone. Okay. What? Okay. That was easy. It's all easy. Even the healing part is easy. Oh, the last couple dungeons I've done have been tricky with healing. A lot of damage happening, but this one, I don't know. Oh, now we got even more. Shit. Get him, get him, get him. Alrighty. Well, it's a mechanic. No doubt about that. And he is dead. I mean, what is this place? Sastasha? Is this the Tamtara Deepcroft? I can't tell. Skallic Ring of Healing. Yeah, I don't think we have this 370 stuff now. Taking damage, bro? How about that? How about full health? How about that? Oh my god. Okay. Stellar explosion. Bullshit, that hit me. Give him that. Pass on that. A little of that fun stuff. Why are you taking so much damage? And do that. Kapow. That, get rid of that, get rid of that, there we go. Just pushing buttons, it's all good. I like the Astrologian. Makes me feel happy. Do some of that, heal you up, heal you up. So, I guess I should address class quests. I don't think I'm going to show you anymore. There's not really much point in showing you the Scholar Summoner ones, since I'm not really even playing as them. And the only one that gives a new ability is the level 71. So it's just a bunch of stuff. It's just a bunch of, you know, side quests that, you know, are not super fascinating. So I don't think I'll show you anymore, but I should do them. I don't like the, I'm not really impressed with the level 70 Astrologian ability. I don't have it yet, but it basically, like, lets you draw a card, but it guarantees that it's a different symbol than you already have in your bar, I guess. That's what I gleaned. Ah. Okay, I don't remember. I don't remember. That's fine. Oh, that's where I was supposed to look away. Whoops. It's okay, I can't do much damage to you. Don't worry about me. Divination going on. Now we can do better than that. Do that, do that, do that. Okay, do that, do that. Slap renews on everybody. Throw that down. Okay. Oh, that puts the tank in the... Yep. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, keep the tank out of it. There you go. Oh, he raises his tail. Shit, that's fine. That's fine. Stellar explosion went off. Redraw on this. Oh, there I could have bubbled up. I could have bubbled up. That's fine. We got this in the bag. Easy peasy, man. Easy peasy. Nice. 2 commendations.
Oh, bugger it.
Are you all right?
Aye. Aye. Everything's still attached.
Ah, it seems both our paths led here. Very good. We spent altogether too much time fleeing fiends horrid and numerous. How fared you? Much the same, then. 'Twould appear this place is yet inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Terrible, aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Quite. By the 12, there is even more than I imagined.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Lisa's face. Thanks for believing in me, you two.
Nice. Nice stuff. Our involved and I forged ahead at the fastest pace we could manage, but I was not surprised to find you waiting for us. I suppose it serves us right for challenging the Warrior of Light. Next time we should agree on some manner of handicap. We may have lost Alphino, but think of what we found. Quite. I'm still reeling at the sight of that mountain of riches. What, like how you reeled at the sight of that floating specter, you mean? You should have heard him scream, Mangg. Must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's trove, and that is all that matters. All jesting aside, we must tell people the good news, and I think Lise should be the first. Seconded. There is to be a meeting of representatives from across El Amigo, so she is sure to be in the city. Shall we seek her out? Oh, you three look pleased with yourselves. What have you been up to? I'm glad you asked, Lise, and I'm pretty sure you're going to like the answer. You're joking. The Mad King's trove. I thought it was a myth. So did plenty of people, but they didn't have Mangg and Alphino in their party. The credit for finding it should really go to them. As for what to do with it all, I vote that it go towards alleviating the suffering of Alamigo's poor. Gods, if there's as much as you say. Arnbald did not exaggerate, I assure you. We cannot hope to carry even a fraction of it out on our own. I have taken the liberty of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you will assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. Understood. I'll make sure every coin is accounted for, and that goes for the spending of it as well. Thank you. Oh, there is one other thing. When the time comes to draw up a plan for distributing the spoils, I would ask that you consult Alphino. I don't have a head for details. I'm not educated. I see that simply handing out sacks of gil won't solve everything, but I couldn't rather tell you what to do instead. Oh, I know the feeling. I'd welcome any advice you could give us, Alphino. Of course, I shall be at your disposal. Commander, we've got a problem. Deep breaths. Tell me what's happened. A mob's gathered outside headquarters, and they've started making demands. You'd best come and see for yourself.
Step back, all of you!
Like hells we will! We know who you've got in there!
We're not leaving till you hand her over!
Bring her out! Bring her out!
What's going on?
Someone let slip about Fedorla.
It's true then! The bitch really is in there! I knew it! I bloody knew it! We demand vengeance! Bring her out! Today we butcher the butcher!
Come on, you don't mean that! We'd be no better than the Imperials if you'd all just calm down!
Calm down! That monster and her thrice damned skulls dragged my man from our home and beat him to death in the street!
Aye! And my dad! That bitch has spilt enough blood to fill a lock!
We all know her crimes. She's a traitor and a murderer. How many of your resistance friends have died at her hands, eh? And here you are, protecting her!
So that's what all the fuss is about. Hearken to me, brothers and sisters of Alamigo.
Hey, who's this?
Who's this?
That's the Bull of Alamigo.
My friends, you are not alone in your anger, your grief, your despair, for it is mine as well. That gnawing pain in your breast, it is enough to bring an old bull to his knees. But I ask you, brothers and sisters, to think not only of the family and friends who were cut down before your very eyes, but to think also of the ones who were abducted, the ones who may yet live. Where were they taken? What became of them? These questions demand answers. I share your thirst for justice, for vengeance, but we will gain only fleeting satisfaction if we give in to our base appetites. We will never know the truth. Now is the time that we, the people of Alamigo, must decide what manner of nation we will build for ourselves, and for generations yet unborn. When they look to our example, will they see a people who held fast to their principles, or one who cast them aside when tried? I say to you, it is our responsibility to give these prisoners a fair trial, that they might answer to all of Alamigo. The Garleans called us savages, and I'll be damned if we prove them right.
I know you're right, I do. But I can't.
There you go. Least couldn't do it. My thanks, Raubon. Listening to their anger, I could feel myself being swept away. It is a difficult tide to stem. It was that same rage which brought us to our feet and carried us to victory. But now the war is over. All the unspent fury has been channeled into vengeance. Aye, and it's not just here. We've reports of mobs forming all over. They've been targeting folk known to have cooperated with the Garleans. It starts with insults most often. Then someone picks up a stone. Some industrious souls even thought to seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race or origin, can live side by side in peace. But maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. The representatives will be here soon, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give up before I've even begun. Who are these representatives exactly? Well, village elders, refugee leaders, and the like. It wouldn't be right for us to dictate the nation's future on our own, so we planned a summit of sorts. We've even invited the Ananta and the Kikern to participate. All Amigos stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Fordola's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt proceedings. And let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put to death. Nago, I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated, and everyone who didn't resist? There would be no one left, and we'd be no better than Theodoric and Xenos. Begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Fordola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past. A moment of it, anyway, during the fight. She's done terrible things, aye, unforgivable things, but in some ways she's a victim of the circumstances in which she was born, and that's something I can understand. Alright, speak with the prison guard when you're ready, and I'll come and join you. I want to talk to her too. I'll return to my other duties then. We've barely begun to investigate the facility where they gave Fordola her powers. Be fairly warned, friends. She will test you. Don't let your emotions color your judgment when she does. You've the commander's permission to enter then. Yes, I do. She's standing right there.
Well. So many visitors. Come to have a good laugh, have you? Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom. Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time. All of this is pointless! There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it! I killed your men. I killed my men! And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
That's a lie, and you know it! You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind? Yeah, you're a fool, but you're not stupid. You're ruthless, relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want. You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away. I see you, Fedora. I see you for what you are.
Come along, Fedora. We mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
All right. Father, what's Lord Gaius like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
There you go again with all your questions. Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of Alamigo. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Filthy tin-head lovers.
Father, what did that man call us?
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who'd gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whore mother.
That's not true! My parents are good people! They've never done anything like that!
Oh, but they were quick to help themselves and their bitch spawn, weren't they? You're just as guilty as them.
Fedora!
Traitors!
Please, you have to do something. My husband and daughter are in danger.
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of Arn.
We're citizens. We have rights.
Ah!
Father, I'm scared.
It's all right. It's all right. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive. Traitors! Traitors!
Let the savages have their fun. They'll be more compliant once they've tired themselves out.
Fedora, please. You already have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier? Oh, gods! What have you done to your face?
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honoring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Am I though, Mother? Are any of us? Can't you see? Citizenship means nothing to them. If you're not a pure-blood Garlean, you're no different from any other savage. So I'll play the part. I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time. It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
So, you mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes, wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past? And what? A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they? Don't you dare patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led! The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay! You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone. The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why?
For those I've lost, for those I can yet save.
Damn you. Damn you all.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it. Let's go.
All right. Okay, doke. Leave it off there. We actually did one of the 3 dungeons only in these patch quests. 3 dungeons, 1 trial. Everything else is just normal quests. I'm sure there's some good story in there, some epic moments, but usually they shove a few more trials and dungeons in there. But hey, there's not that many quests at all before we get to Shadowbringers, so that is what it is. Next time, though, we'll be doing the second part of the Evilise raids, so I'm very much looking forward to that. My name is Mangg. Gaming watching has been Final Fantasy XIV. See you fine folks in the next part.